Hey guys, welcome to this week's Hot or Not Thursday. We are going to take a stroll down the new foundation launches lane, and I have a bunch of them that I don't like. I actually was just going to do a foundations that are new that I don't like video, but as I was rifling through everything, I found a few that I have put to the test recently that I really wanted to tell you guys about that I love. So there is a little love. There are a few that I'm curious if you want me to do wear tests with, and let's just kind of dive right in. So the first thing I want to chat about is something that is more high-end that I have actually talked about on my channel, I think 6.5 years ago. Now this may have been an updated formula, like I'm sure it has to have been updated by now, but I still had similar problems with it. This is the Perricone MD No Foundation Serum. It does have an SPF of 30. It is very up there in price, and my issue with this product is it doesn't really do much. I mean, it says it's no foundation, but come on, you want like some evening out of your skin, and it does have more of an oily slip to it that I don't know, I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of the grease in it. The smell has improved. I remember when I first talked about this in a product regrets video, I think it was like a worst products of the year, and this product was in that mix. It smelled like fish. And Perricone products, which I love Perricone skincare, by the way. I used to save up a lot of my money. Like I would save, and I would splurge on their cleansers, their moisturizers, and I would read his books about, lowering inflammation in your skin, and I was all about it. Eat more salmon, and it's very like fish, like good fats, which I still apply in my life, so thank you, Dr. Perricone. But what I have to say is a lot of the products back in the day used to have a heavy fish scent to them, and it literally would make me just be like, ugh, like I can't. Like the smell of that on your face, like when you like smell like the skin around your nose and you're just like, ugh, like fish market, like dog's breath, like, ew, it's just not for me. The formula has been updated enough to not have that horrific scent to it, but it still is quite oily. It doesn't give enough coverage for you to pay the high price, in my opinion. If you want a tinted moisturizer in place of a foundation, I always think the drugstore is the best bet. Get a good CC cream, BB cream, good ingredients, SPF, all of that jazz, and none of the heaviness of a full coverage foundation. So you can save yourself a lot of money too. They did extend a shade range, which I think is great, but it's just not for me. All right, moving right along, you guys. This has been the struggle of my life. I want to love this foundation so much because it has the most beautiful finish. It is so full coverage. I have never in my life used a more full coverage foundation than this foundation. This is the Jouer Essential High Coverage Cream Foundation. It has hyaluronic acid. It is a matte finish, and this is a beautiful foundation. I love that it's a matte finish with the hyaluronic acid, which attracts moisture to your skin and plumps it. So if you have more mature skin, or you have, fine lines, but you still want a matte finish, this formula is so good. I have a hard time with the oxidation. It oxidizes really, really intensely, and I have not been able to find a shade that works for me. This is one of those items that I keep wearing, and when I see a video that I have worn it in, I'm like, oh, your skin looks weird. Like the coverage is nice, but your skin looks weird. Like the color is really strange. So what I'm thinking of doing, and I want to say it was Nikki Tutorials that I saw do this, is she was taking a pump of this with other foundations. So I am going to play around with it further. This is not necessarily a miss. It's not a hit. I'm still working through my issues with this product, but I am curious if you guys have tried this. I just want to know from you guys if you have tried this and what shades were working for you, what didn't oxidize. I'm just curious what your feedback is on this, I guess. And this is your update, because a lot of you guys wanted to know how I was doing with this foundation. I want to love it so bad. It's like when you find the perfect guy and you're like, I wish for all of those romantic feelings to just bubble on up, because wouldn't this be great? He's a nice guy, he would treat me well, but there's just no emotion. Do you know what I mean? Why do I constantly make my makeup into romantic relationships? Like that's how I always storytell with my makeup. Oh my God. Okay, moving on. Here's another update for you guys. I told you I was gonna wear this Fenty foundation several more times, and I did. I tried it with different primers. I tried it with hydrating primers. I tried it with the Fenty primer again. I kept giving this a go to see if I would like it more, because the day that I tested this, I did a full day wear test. I will link that below. I loved it for how matte it stayed, but it clung on to every dry area of my face, and I've not been able to resolve that issue, so I stopped wearing it because really it would only look good for about half the day, and then it would take this like weird turn to like my face kind of cracking and like the lines showing up, and it just was not good for me. But I will say this, it's a beautiful foundation for oily skin. I would highly recommend it for oily skin, especially if you have the kind of oily skin that has more visible pores. I did notice for some reason it exaggerated dry patches and lines, but with pores it did minimize this whole area really nicely. So oily skin, Fenty foundation is so good, and of course their shade range is unbelievable. So that is the update on Fenty. Do I even need to like stay on this long, you guys? This was the weirdest foundation ever, and if you don't believe me, then go and watch my dollar makeup try on. I don't know why I thought it was a brilliant idea to try this foundation in a dollar makeup try on, because this is a $40 foundation, but it was new and I was excited to try it, and I didn't have a $1 foundation, so I put this to the test and I tried 3 different shades to match my skin. I eventually scaled up to the lightest, which swatched on my skin looked very, very light. But this bizarre thing happened when I started blending. It got darker, and throughout the day it got even darker. So this is just the weirdest foundation to me. Has anybody tried this? The Absolute Cover from OFRA. Now I love OFRA. Their highlighters are just so good. They have the best liquid lipsticks, and I was super curious to see how their foundations are, and I think they have more than just this one. I would be willing to give a different variety another go, but the blending on this was weird, the color shift was weird, and the wear was a little bit blotchy, so this was just not for me. I feel ashamed of myself for doing this right now, you guys. Like literally ashamed, because I used to be a counter manager at Bare Minerals, and I would sell this makeup all day long. I would get into arguments with people that were at other counters. They're like, oh, mineral makeup, your mineral makeup sucks. And I'd be like, oh no, let me swirl tap and buff you to perfection. And I would tell them all the benefits, and there's no yucky ingredients, and I'd, show them how to get the full coverage look. And it was a weird thing, because when I worked at Nordstrom 1, downtown Seattle, and I was working the Bare Minerals counter, we were one of the odd counters that was actually contracted outside of Nordstrom. So we weren't like full on part of the Nordstrom family. It was a separate thing. We had separate rules, which going into that whole cosmetic floor kind of made us a little bit of the new kid and an outsider. And yeah, I would have to really fight hard for like respect with that counter, because everybody wanted to kind of roll their eyes at powder foundation. Not really sure where I'm going with that story, just thought it'd be interesting to share that I used to be super passionate about educating people on mineral makeup, and that was like my thing. So I was always so good to the brand, like I stood by them, like I loved them, and here we are years later, and I review products for a living on YouTube, and they've come out with a liquid. I don't like it. I don't like it, you guys. This is the Performance Wear Liquid Foundation. This is number 11, and I just think it's a very goopy foundation. It does not blend the way that I want it to. There's something almost tacky about the foundation. I know a lot of people love this one, but for me, I would go ahead and say that what Bare Minerals does the best is their mineral foundation, and I swore by that stuff for years because I used to be very quick about my makeup, and I think that foundation for women that don't have a ton of time, that just want a beautiful look to their skin, they want to look better than when they rolled out of bed as far as evenness, glowing, coverage, and you get a little sun protection in there as well. So I think their mineral foundation is awesome. Oh my God, dear Lord, really? Well, shoot, when did that happen? Sadly, that is not the first video that has happened in. I've had other videos where my hoops have fallen out and I just keep talking and waving my arms. This one right here is not as good as their traditional powder foundation. I get that they're trying to please everyone, coming out with liquids, extending the line. However, I'm just a fan of their OG products, and this one for me did not work out. I just didn't like the formula. I don't hate it. It's not horrible. I just think if you're looking at the two, I would recommend the mineral. Elizabeth Arden sent me this putty foundation. I don't know if you can see that it is one of those putty, like the putty highlighters, like putty shadow, and it's horrible. I don't like this. It is very powdery. I think putty foundation, I tried one other one. Wait, was this the one that I tried? No, I tried one from Stila. This is the same thing. You feel like you have to like drag it on your skin. It's not like a powder where you're just buffing and blending, or a liquid where you're just kind of pressing and making sure it smooths out everywhere. With this, you feel like you're just like tugging at your skin. The coverage is not that great. It grabs at dry patches. If you have more oily skin, I think this is not gonna give you enough. And for me, I was just like, meh, next. However, this I have not tried, and I want to see if you guys want me to do this on camera or not. This is the Flawless Finish Mousse Makeup, and I think it looks really cool. I think I might want to do like an OMG with this, see how it wears. I've done aerosol, you know, foundation wear tests, and I just like trying crazy products. I can't help it. So I have not tried this yet, but I want to know from you guys in the comments, and I'm going to poll you over on Twitter as well. Do you want to see this one first, the mousse makeup? Or Maybelline just came out with an update on their Superstay Full Coverage Foundation. I see full coverage on a foundation bottle at the drugstore and Longwear, and I'm like, ooh, sign me up. I need to try this. So which one do we want first? Let's talk about something great, because we need to do that. We've talked a lot of crap in this video. I want to share with you guys a matte foundation that I love. I am so surprised that I love this so much. I don't know who this brand is. What I do know is this product works beautifully. This is Frankie Rose. This is the Matte Perfection Foundation. I have the shade Neutral right here, and it is spectacular. You guys, it covers. It does not look overly heavy, but it is very full coverage. You can build it up. It keeps you very mattified, but not crunchy, cakey, lines showing, dry patches showing, mattified. And that is what impressed me the most about this product. I think someone with oily skin would love it. And then someone like myself with combo to dry skin can wear it as well. So it's not just a matte foundation that's just gonna cancel out oil and look flat and dried out. You can wear this if you are combo or oily. I would never recommend a full-blown matte foundation if you have super dry skin. You need more moisture than what a matte foundation can offer, so just don't even think about it. But if you're like me that has, you know, a few dry patches and it just feels like your skin does not know what mood it's in half the time, because that is my struggle, this is great for when I want a matte look on my face. And I was really impressed the handful of times that I've worn it. I haven't had it too long. I've worn it, I think, 4 times now, and I've been kind of going back and forth between this and, of course, these two right here from Laura Mercier, the Flawless Fusion Ultra-Longwear Foundation. Still obsessing over this one. This, YSL, La Mer, and now Frankie Rose are like the go-tos. I really love them all, and I don't like a lot of what's over here. Okay, cool. I'm getting more critical with foundation the more I try. It's like becoming harder to impress me, as we can see right here. So let me know what you want to see, the Maybelline, the Mousse. Let me know what your favorites are in the comments below, because, you know, I'm gonna be on that pursuit for the perfect foundation forever. So let me know in the comments, and if you're in the mood and you feel extra nice, you can hit the like button if you liked this video. I would really appreciate it. All right, I love you guys. I hope you're having a good one, and I will see you all in tomorrow's video. Thanks for watching. Mwah.